Hello, dear viewers. Today we're bringing you a special edition of TV Heroes. We warn you that without laughter, one cannot speak about this talented, smart, and beautiful woman. Because her name is Ninel Conde, a woman who is always at the center of attention, and in other words, in the center of the typhoon. A typhoon which consists of many storms that she partakes in and many of which she creates herself. She is known as an actress in television series, in movies like Shifting Hearts, Fire and Blood, and Sea of Love. She is a singer who's been nominated for the Latin Grammy Awards. But believe you me, it's none of her talent that attracts her publicity, but rather the scandals that circle her all the time that she creates on her own. So honestly, where do we even begin? She was born in 1970, which would make her be 41 today, soon to be 42. And we aren't telling you this for no reason. She says that she's 34 and she's been 34 for some years now. Or Photoshop, you never know which one of them. Or she is the first to find a way of extending time. Or just being forever young. And I think she found that way. It involves some plastic implants and a lot of surgeries. She was worked on by many plastic surgeons to get her to the condition she is in today. And the reality is that I can bet you my own ass that the surgeons made quite a few bucks turning her into a luscious woman from being a flat-chested and flat-assed manly girl with a huge nose overlooking thin lips. They have created her the ultimate fantasy of teenage boys and men old enough to have only one thing sexy, their wallet. Ninel herself claims that it was all natural and that she has had nothing alternated at all. It just grew on its own from exercises, and her inner beauty has finally come out to shine. The only problem is with this notion is that nobody believes her. In her homeland, they even gave her a nickname now. She's named Shishel Siliconde, which just comes to prove how much people don't actually believe a single word she says. You can take a look yourself on the transformation that she has underwent and wants us to believe that it was all natural. The middle picture here shows her unoperated state. Okay? That's a big difference right there. Folk in the industry claim that she has an incurable psychological disease, a rare one that makes her want to deform and hate her own body. It's an interesting delusion, if you ask me. She underwent so many surgeries that once her left breast burst open and she had to miss a really important social event. Not only is it a big deal for her, but imagine what would happen if her tit would erupt right on that social event. It would be a huge embarrassment for the rest of her life. But whenever her tits weren't giving her a problem, her ass did, because her butt started leaking at some point. She actually likes the idea of her bosom to be so big that it can be called a luggage. It's a car in its own right. Look at it. It's huge. It's the reason the meme "that ass" exists. Anyways, her ass gave her a lot of problems, and oftentimes her legs didn't go to well together with her butt, and she would just lose balance on stage. She would fall down, and all of this crap is without even talking about her deformed chin or cellulite, which is horrible. She actually had to undergo an emergency surgery in a hospital, which she got almost forcefully put into, to fix her ass while she was claiming to the general public that she had the most rare form of a growth in her bottom and she couldn't even urinate because of it. So people who listened to it just said, well, fine, finally she read the Wikipedia article, but she can't repeat it for shit. Ninel says she's smart. She says that she knows perfect English, yet she cannot pronounce sunburn. And she made it into sunburn. So people have named her Ninel Conde. Ninel can't even remember the name of the USA, the United States of America. So because she can't remember, she turned it into USB. Aside from outright not knowing English words in the proper way, she also managed to confuse an event which happened in 2004, in October, I do believe. She said that she is very sorry for the Asian people who have been hit by a tsunami. Of course, she meant tsunami, but our superbrain is just incapable of making such differences. And then one cannot even remember it without laughing a bit inside how she confused Barack Obama and Osama bin Laden. When Osama was killed, finally, by the US Special Forces, she went out on her Twitter and said that, well, I am very sorry to hear the loss of the American people and how their president was murdered. So yeah, that was confusing. And she quit Twitter right after that. Leaving aside her mental capabilities, her love life isn't any better. Her first public man was Jorge Correvagi, who, after a few operations on his face, now looks like this. Oh, Ninel, you're going to get someone and yourself hurt in the end, really bad. Then came the marriage with Ari Telcham, an actor, whom she stole from Lorena Rojas and whom fathered her daughter Sofia. Their marriage quickly ended because Ninel claims that Ari cheated on her and even touched other women in her presence. Their daughter Sofia actually really likes their dad and spends all the time with him, while Ari claims that all the elements that he is paying for his daughter to Ninel actually go to further increase her body's plastic operation amount. Then came her romance with Jose Manuel Intigaro, who also cheated on our woman, and since she couldn't already stand such treatment, she broke up with him. In a recent interview, telling about the man a few not very decent words, and that I even would utter them, at least calling him a male hooker. Then came her marriage with businessman Juan Cepeda, who is known less for his decency, you know what I'm saying? He is almost a double married man. His business is suspected of drug dealing. With time, however, his business really dwindled, and now he only serves as Ninel's manager. As for Ninel, she is unsuspecting about her husband, so they say. But as of the moment, her job, her regular job, her real job, is going to court. because she owes money to almost anyone who ever worked with her. Audio production companies, ex-managers, advertisers, whoever you want, and says she doesn't even have a job because she got fired from the American channel La Estra for unfulfilling her contract. She doesn't even have any money to pay anyone left with. As for her love with Juan, she is kind of dwindling in that position as well. And people who have the know-how of finding shit up say that soon they will break up. But don't worry, we're all sure Ninel will find someone else who has a lot of money. And besides, this husband, anyways, was not really that successful. Come on, he is just mediocre at best out of all the men she wants to get and gotten over her being 34 years old. As I mentioned before, Ninel loves her scandals, and as such, on recent shootings of Fire in Blood, she had feuds with all her surrounding actresses. Elizabeth Alvarez and Nora Salinas were part of it. Aside that, she had a fight with Arambula. She had a feud with Nurka Marcos and Susana Zabaleta, who just outright said that Ninel is no one and she should have no name, and that she herself needs no silicone and no scandals to get noticed. Unlike Ninel. Maybe Ninel, you should have learned something from her. Maybe. But her grand scandal has to be on the shootings of Sea of Love, where her victim was none other than Mario Cimarro. At first, Ninel Conde and Mario Cimarro were getting along just fine, being friendly, until something small snapped in Ninel's mind, and she started saying that she has been physically abused by Mario. She then involved her husband and a few of her comrades, Pipila Arguela and Maxime Woodside, who were more than happy to shed a lot of dirt on the foreigner. When concerned fans turned their attention to the culprit and decided to ask him a few questions, he replied by saying that none of what Ninel tells is true. As a matter of fact, here's what happened. They were shooting a scene in which the director has asked Mario to push Ninel aside, just to show the intensity and heat of their argument and of the scene. Ninel, being the super brain that she is, was either uninformed of this or she didn't know that they were acting. So she took it as a really, really, really big offense. After, of course, she hugged him. She spent the rest of the day in her locker, where after which she gave interviews on the next day, already explaining how emotionally abused and bruised physically she was from all the physical abuse that Mario has put her through. But this is not to say that everything has just ended right there. Mario has not said anything else about her at the time. And on the series premiere, Ninel looked more than happy. Okay? Can you get this? She not only was looking happy and unbruised, she was also kissing him. She was also showing him all the love in the world, which kind of makes us believe she likes him, not just in a friendly sort of way. But as if that was the end of it, towards New Year's, she decided to go again on the treaded path of glorious scandals and said that Mario, that nasty, nasty man, has paid no attention to her, that he ignored her in all her delicious glory. Also, she told Woodside that he was late. for their shootings. She spilled all the dirt that she could get on the poor man and even involved Lorena Rojas. But when that wasn't enough and she couldn't get a reaction out of him, she decided that on the skin where Mario was having bandages on his hands because his hands were supposed to be hurt, he was showing her profane gestures, if you know what I mean. But alas, no response was gotten from Mr. Cimarro because he completely ignored our glorious and luscious example of what a woman should be. Yes, we will not deny it. Ninel is a beautiful and stunning woman, but not that beauty always makes up for everything one should have. The one response Mario did give out is that one who doesn't have talent will try to attract attention to himself with different manners, which I would say is a pretty insulting thing. With this, we wish Ninel the best in her further adventures and more hilarity to ensue. I hope you enjoyed my broadcast in this show. Have a good day.